Good evening to our global audience. Many thanks for joining us for the midweek edition of Primetime News. I'm Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa. Leading this bulletin, Bank of Namibia has announced an increase in the repo rate by 25 basis points to 7.25% with immediate effect. This announcement was made earlier today by the central bank in the capital. The repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks borrow money from the central bank, and this decision is likely to have significant implications for the Namibian economy. Josephina Simeon produced our lead story.
We met on the 17th and the 18th of April to decide on the appropriate monetary policy stance to be implemented over the next 2 months to continue anchoring inflation expectations and safeguarding the peg arrangement while simultaneously avoiding harsh impulses to the domestic economy. The Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Namibia decided to increase the repo rate by 25 basis points to 7.25% with immediate effect. This decision was taken following a comprehensive review of global, regional and domestic economic developments. Let us consider the domestic economic developments that inform this decision. Domestic economic activity improved in 2022 and the first 3 months of 2023. Inflation remained elevated while the growth in private sector credit extension, PSCE, remained weak. The stock of international reserves remained sufficient to support the currency peg and meet the country's international financial obligations. Annual growth in Namibia's real gross domestic product rose to 4.6% in 2022 from 3.5% in 2021. The expansion in domestic economic activity was on account of stronger growth rates in the primary and tertiary industries, as well as a rebound in the secondary industry.
On to higher education affairs. The Namibia Student Financial Assistance Fund, or NASFAF, has announced that it has awarded study loans to a total of 22,178 applicants for the 2023 academic year. This comes after the fund received a total of 30,124 applications from students across the country. Linnea Deshena filed this story.
During the application process, the fund received 30,124 applications from prospective beneficiaries, compared to 23,696 applications last year or during 22 academic year. 30,124 applications received, 22,178 or 74% of applicants are eligible for funding. This is an increase of 30% when compared to 17,096 eligible applicants for 2022 academic year. And this only leave 7,946 or 20% of applicants ineligible for funding during 2023 academic year.
In diplomatic news, the United States Ambassador to Namibia, Randy Berry, held a media roundtable discussion earlier today in the capital. During the discussion, Ambassador Berry highlighted the importance of press freedom as the world prepares to celebrate Press Freedom Day in May. Here's more from that story.
I believe absolutely fundamentally that a free and independent media is vital in a democracy. It's the same in my country. I believe the same is true here, because you hold those in power and in authority accountable for all of us. It ensures that communities in the country are well informed, and of public actions, sheds light on gray areas or areas for debate within a society. I can say very flatly that the U.S. Government, really from the very earliest days of our republic, have always embraced complete press freedom, and we always will. It's at the very cornerstone of our democracy.
We now turn to news from across our borders as thousands of residents flee the Sudanese capital amid escalating violence between the army and paramilitaries. The fighting, which has already claimed the lives of around 200 people, has now entered its fifth day after a 24-hour truce collapsed. The violence erupted between the forces of two generals who seized power in a coup in 2021, Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his deputy Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, who commands the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. More on this in this report.
The violence followed a bitter dispute between them over the planned integration of the Rapid Support Forces into the regular army, a key condition for a final deal aimed at restoring Sudan's democratic transition. The fighting has killed at least 185 people and injured more than 1,800 according to the United Nations. But the real figure is thought to be far higher, with many wounded, unable to reach hospitals, which are themselves being shelled according to the official doctors' union. Governments have started planning to evacuate thousands of foreigners stuck in the country, among them many UN staff.
Your top roundup is up next. Welcome to Primetime Biz, the segment where we bring you in-depth analysis of all the latest news and trends in the world of business and economics. Our top business story comes from the world of business and transport, as the Namibia Ports Authority, or NAMPORT, has announced an 87% increase in passenger vessel calls for the 2022-2023 financial year compared to the previous year. Isabel Bento compiled this story.
The increase in passenger vessels, according to the authority's corporate communications manager, Tanya Pessert, in a media statement, is attributed to the maritime industry's positive strides towards recovery from the recent pandemic that had negatively impacted holidaymakers traveling as a result of the travel restrictions. To add to the number of vessel calls, NAMPORT on Monday welcomed the Silver Shadow Nassau passenger vessel on its maiden voyage at the port of Walvis Bay. Pessert added, a plaque exchange ceremony was held on board the vessel between NAMPORT's port captain, Lucas Kufuna, and the ship's captain, Michel Macaron Palmieri, to commemorate the maiden call. Speaking during the ceremony, Palmieri commended the construction of the passenger berth at the port of Walvis Bay. The over 300 passengers disembarked the passenger vessel to participate in day tours that included shopping, quad biking activities in the dunes, drives to Sandwich Harbour, and local excursions, among others. Last week, the Queen Mary II passenger vessel carrying over 2,000 passengers also docked at the port of Walvis Bay. The port is expected to receive 4 more passenger vessels between now until May 2023, before the cruise season ends until November. Namport reiterated its commitment to ensuring that all passenger liners visiting Namibia do so in a safe and welcoming manner, as these same visitors contribute immensely to the country's economy at large. Reporting for Primetime News, I'm Michael Madimba.
Our next story is about the ongoing issue of dilapidated roads in Walvis Bay. Taxi drivers in the town have taken to the streets to demand that the municipality take immediate action to fix the roads that have become a nightmare to drive on. According to the drivers, roads such as Sardine, Volstruis and Nathanael Mahwilili are riddled with potholes, which are not only causing damage to their vehicles, but also posing a safety hazard to passengers. In a petition submitted to the Walvis Bay municipality on Tuesday, the drivers are calling for swift action to be taken to repair these roads before more damage is done. Once more, Isabel Bento filed this report.
Reading the petition on behalf of the taxi drivers, Onesmus Ndengu requested for the interlocking of the affected roads as well as the construction of bridges on intersections which are usually affected by rainwater or sewage. The group has given the municipality 2 months to deal with the situation, saying should they fail to do so, traffic officers should also be instructed to discontinue issuing traffic fines. The taxi drivers also threatened to stage daily demonstrations until the issue is resolved. Accepting the petition, Walvis Bay Mayor Trevino Forbes expressed that the municipality is making efforts to solve the road infrastructure problems at the town, adding that it has received 200 million Namibia dollars offer from the Road Fund Administration to assist in fixing the roads.
That brings us to the end of our top news segment for tonight. Stay tuned for the economics roundup, followed by a detailed weather forecast. Welcome to Sport Planet. Leading the sports segment, Northeast First Division Football Club Rundu Chiefs is currently facing a huge challenge as they prepare for their upcoming fixtures in the 2022-2023 Northeast First Division Namibia Football Association this weekend. With only 9 games left to play, the team is in danger of being relegated to the second division for the first time in their history if they don't secure victories in their next 2 fixtures. Rundu Chiefs, who have a rich footballing history in the region, are currently sitting at the 10th spot on the league table with just 19 points, which is 1 point shy of the relegation position occupied by Chief Santos. The stakes are high and the pressure is on for Rundu Chiefs as they aim to secure a crucial win this weekend. On to boxing news, Namibian catch-weight boxer Hedison Hipondoka Bulelo has vowed to knock out his opponent Usko Rehabiam during the upcoming AC Boxing's first boxing bonanza for the year, scheduled for June 10th. Speaking at the announcement of the event on Tuesday, Bulelo confidently stated that Rehabiam had made a mistake in agreeing to fight him and he plans to make him pay for it in the ring. In response, Rehabiam dismissed Bulelo's claim, stating that he was born ready and that his opponent doesn't have the necessary skills to beat him. It looks like we have an exciting match up in store and fans can expect a thrilling encounter when these 2 fighters step into the ring. Your sports roundup is up next. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. Remember to tune in again tomorrow for more informative news and updates from across the region and beyond. From myself, Salima Shumwefeleni Masipa, and the rest of the production team, we wish you a good night and stay safe.